everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Let's Play The Last Door. In the last episode, we finished Season 1, in which Jeremiah DeVitt walked through the last door by getting drugged by his friend Alexandre in an attempt to chase after some eldritch bird beast beyond our comprehension. In a realm beyond our comprehension. This episode, extras! Just to see what these can provide for us. Maybe get some more insight into the rest of the story, starting with the morgue. Here I have the police and medical report. The latter is still blank. According to the police, the deceased's name is Father Ernest Glynn. The man immolated himself. Okay, cool. All the tools I need for dissection and whatnot. There must be something wrong with the water pressure valve. That's all you're going to say about that? Okay. An anatomical model built out of actual human bones. Gross and disturbing. Anyway, let's get to work. We'll see if the police report is right. Yep, that looks like an incinerated man. Good lord. What a mess. Well, let's start with scalpel, I guess. I'm not yet sure we need to cut at all. Oh. Pincer? I will know what to do after a preliminary exam. Oh, okay, I got you. I gotta move more of the... Okay, sure. The skin is all scorched. Cause of death is probably shock caused by the sudden burns. Horrible way of passing. What could lead a man of God to commit such an act? All that remains is to file the medical report so he can receive the proper treatment of a fine gentleman deserves. I mean... I guess... I don't know if you'd consider him a fine gentleman, but, you know, I don't think we knew him all that well. So, nothing doing? Nothing else to do here? File the medical report. Okay, fine. Guess we won't dissect the burned body. This case still puzzles me. If he wanted to commit suicide, why did he do it in such a painful manner? Because he felt guilty. Was he drugged or intoxicated? I should check his stomachs for signs of poisoning. Okay. Oh, now you'll let me do dissection. Man, look at this guy sticking to procedure. What a clown. Just jump on in there. Don't even pay attention. Just get at it. Alright, the stomach looks fine on the outside. Now we should cut it open to check its contents. Okay. Actually, I probably need the scissors for that. Oh, never mind. What is this? There's something strange in here. Looks like a piece of paper. Alright. It's a note. Ernest Glynn, Jeremiah DeVitt, Alexandre D. Hugo Ashdrake? Is that what that says? It's crossed out. Why is that one crossed out? Also, there's one person missing altogether. A crumpled note with 4 names. One of them is crossed out. I think I should inform the inspector immediately. Good call. This is cool. We get to see the behind-the-scenes shit that didn't really get brought up this season. Let's see, what about death sentence? Francis Baldwin. After being certified of your guilt by a peer jury, we find you guilty of the wicked and violent murders of 14 innocent and sick people. Because of this sentence, I am hereby authorized to execute you at this very moment by hanging to death in the sight of God. Would you like to make a final statement before we proceed? Why will you say that I'm mad? You should have seen how mercifully I proceeded. With what love! I saved them, released them. Now they're in a better place. Do you still believe I'm mad? Okay, so Francis Baldwin was a necrophiliac. He was the guy from that weird 1920s thing going on. I gotcha. Alright, so Francis Baldwin was rightfully persecuted for his grotesque crimes of murdering people that were sick. I mean, part of me wants to say his heart was kind of in the right place, but that doesn't make it right. Like, he was trying to put them out of their misery, but then he was doing weird shit with them, so it was not right. What a sick, sick man. Anyway, wander in the fog. She's the only survivor. What happened to the others? They're all dead. I would like to talk to her. Oh. Oh, okay. Gotcha. This is, the doctor. Good afternoon. My name is Johann Kaufmann. I am a doctor. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Please be careful with what you ask. Miss Parnell's state is delicate. I'm perfectly fine and able to talk, sister. Thanks for your consideration. Now, doctor, I understand you want me to repeat my story. I would be thankful to hear it indeed. I'll stay outside if you need me. I'm the same woman, doctor, in complete control of my mind and reason. You do not dare to question it. I certainly wouldn't. Then I will commence. I woke up in the dark. The room was small, so narrow that I could touch the wooden walls just by raising my elbows. Where were you? Could you recognize the place? I couldn't tell at first. For a moment, a most dreadful thought crossed my mind. What if I'd been buried alive? When I got out, I found myself in my parents' house. I hadn't been there since they sent me to school. Were your parents there? Did you see anyone there? Your parents, or maybe someone you know? No, they were not in the house, nor was any servant I had known in the years of my childhood. I was alone. I could feel the humid air on my skin. I could smell the scent of long time abandoned. I walked the rooms unsettled by the silence. The place had the bleak feel of a ruin. When I saw someone, in the opposite end of the corridor, an old woman stared at me. Who was she? An old woman? Who was she? How should I know? I hadn't seen her before. I followed her out through the back alley and into the streets. I got lost in the Burg of Aberdeen. The streets were deserted, and a thick fog covered everything. I thought I had seen the old woman through the fog once or twice, but they couldn't have been just shadows. Where was everybody? Did nobody walk the streets? Where was everybody then? I don't know. But I haven't said there was nobody. I met some people, vagabonds. One of them was a priest. I remember a novelist, and a boy, too. Let's just go in order. Tell me about the priest. This priest, where did you meet him? I met him in a stable. Good Lord, he said mass there among the beasts. Could you imagine the profanity? Tell me about the novelist. Tell me more about the novelist. The woman had never written a word. She created only her mind, you know? She could tell the story sentence by sentence, with perfect precision, and I could even hear a piece of her last work. What was the piece about? Do you remember anything about the novelist's work? Yes. The piece she told me was something like, the shadows of the past soon melted within the land that loves silence. Through the fog they walked, found themselves lost. Hoping for a sign from their god, they set camp on the beach, where 30 birds awaited to meet their crowned. So the boy, what about him? I came across an abandoned carriage. The horse was long dead, its bones still harnessed to the cart. There was a young man petting the carcass of the animal. Did you talk to the boy? Could you talk to this young man? He was deaf, but I think he could read my lips. When he spoke, he did with a clear accent. He said he could only listen to the songs of the departed. What happened then? As I walked, the fog got denser. I could barely see anything around. Finally met the old woman. She didn't say a thing, but gave me a cardboard card. Then she left. She gave you a playing card? It was one of those used to tell fortune. There was a drawing on it, a veiled person holding a lamp. Then the mist seemed to clear out, and I could finally see. What could you see? A barren land, bathed by roaring waves. There were thousands of birds, and then I realized there was something else. What was it? It was there. It looked at me! The burning dark inside, the shaking, the scream, that vision that I cannot understand. What is it, Doctor? Have I finally lost my strength of mind? I believe your story. I believe you. I am sure what you lived was real. But I am afraid that I currently lack any proof that can confirm your account. I am sorry. I should leave. Thank you for your time. It looks like a tarot card. Or tarot. Interesting. Well, very last thing here is Beechworth's Wake. He does not look dead, just asleep. Barely knew him, busy as he was traveling the world. What would be of a man with no aspirations for the other side to inspire or lead him? I knew it would come to this. Her father was a terrible mess of a man. I am only grateful that he brought you to our home. Soon enough, not long after you were born, I hold no doubt that you would learn from his bad example and grow up to be a righteous gentleman. What could there be greater than the efforts of mortals to rise from their miserable condition? We will speak later, young man. We're busy. This is so sad. It was most dearest to me. You know, your father was a complicated man. He had a strong character and was stubborn as a mule when he had taken a determination. He believed he had a mission in this world, though I'm not sure he knew exactly what it was. That which avoids description, the unknown, provides men with a reason to exist. And yet we fear it. Okay. talk to these losers now? This is a most sorrowful day. Mr. Beechworth was a great man, lad. This is an obscure domain, its secrets taken by man from the silence of nature and death. You are the young Beechworth, is that right? Your father left you everything, Anthony. The house, his accounts, and his belongings, for you to receive when you come of age. Also, we're playing as a young Anthony. Interesting. He was very specific in his testament, though, that you should receive this promptly, his personal book log. These are the memoirs of my life, my research, and knowledge of the other side. Oh, so this is all Anthony's dad's fault. Way to go, Mr. Beechworth. Use them wisely, son. Don't fuck up and accidentally summon eldritch horrors beyond the imagination. Seriously, you'll get a lot of trouble for doing that. The other story. Nice. With that, I think we're going to end this episode here. In the next one, we'll move on to Season 2. See you guys then.